guys, welcome back to another episode of Mental Garage. This video here would just be a short video on introducing my VL to the channel. Basically, this car's been in the family since the early 1990s. My uncle bought this car off the original owner. After my uncle was selling this car, my grandfather actually bought it from my uncle, and then after my grandfather passed away, my dad bought this car off my grandmother. So this has been in the family for a number of years. It's got a lot of sentimental value to our family. I used to drive this car around on my P plates back in the day, and then obviously I changed cars. This sat in the garage for a long time and used to just get registered, you know, 3 months of the year, registered during the summer and cruised around. It is a factory Calais non-turbo car, factory leather though. I was cruising around one day during summer and the engine shit itself, so I did a stock turbo conversion to it, basically bolted on a turbo onto the original engine, you know, unopened engine, and that engine obviously, you know, with a bit of boost didn't last very long, so I ended up building an engine for this car about 6 months ago. I spun a bearing on the bottom end, so I had the engine rebuilt. You know, we tuned it up to about 400 kilowatts, 1100 newton meters of torque, and since between now and 6 months ago when I did that tune, I've done some more modifications to it. I've done an exhaust cutout, new boost controller, wastegate spring, stuff like that. So this car's now going to be going back to Boost Works to get another dyno tune done on it, see what sort of power it can make. I will do a rundown on, you know, what's been done to the engine later on in this video. But for now, we're going to head down to Boost Works, get up on the dyno and start tuning it up. Unfortunately, today's pretty miserable day. It's raining, and this is Argo. He hates stormy weather, so he's sitting right next to me today, you know, trying to keep calm. So he's a good boy. We'll head down to Boost Works and continue the video from there. Pull it apart.
Yeah. What did you do?
Facts.
Jinxed it, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
Fucking jinxed it.
And
What's your
Number 5,
yeah. Back again and that's it. Alright, I'll let you know how I go. The joys of performance cars. So as you guys would have seen from the video on the dyno, the overflow bottle hose popped off and there was a lot of back pressure, obviously spitting out coolant everywhere. So we've got a problem obviously with a head gasket, or I don't know, at this stage I've just got to start stripping it down. It's something that sucks. I had some big plans to do some videos on this car for you guys, not intending to start pulling stuff apart. So shit went pear-shaped and just got to get it fixed. It's one of those things. I wasn't planning on anything like this happening. I was hoping that the tune was going to go pretty smoothly and it was going to make some decent power with the modifications I did to obviously get the boost up so we can make some more power. I wanted to take it roll racing, get it ready for tail and bend when they open up the drag strip, but it's just a setback, something that would be fixed. I'll get it back on the road pretty quickly, hopefully, and bring some more content for you guys. But I'll start stripping it down and just see what the problem is, what the issue is, and go from there. So, to me, it's definitely done a head gasket. It's actually blown a big hole and it's sort of melted it. I've never seen a head gasket do that before. So yeah, that must have sort of detonated or something, and yeah, put a big hole in the side of the head gasket, and that's obviously why it leaked coolant everywhere. It leaked coolant out of the exhaust, and overflow bottle pretty much exploded. So I would say that's definitely what caused it. Alright, so obviously when we blew the head gasket, it did hit into the block a little bit when it did detonate. So I'm gonna have to get the block face, so engine's coming out, pistons, everything's gonna be stripped down. I'll take you over to the head. The head down here did blow a big, groove into it, or blew a bit of the alloy out of it. So that's gonna have to be welded. I was speaking to Sean about, firing, head gasket, all that sort of stuff, but if it did end up doing a head gasket down the track, or had another issue with something, then obviously firing the block and having to face the head again can be a bit of an issue. So we're just going to go to a better head gasket than what was on here, which is still a multi-layered head gasket, just a better one. So here's the engine all pulled out on the engine stand now. I've still got to strip out all the accessories, pull all the bottom end apart, so obviously sump off, pistons out, crank out. These pistons obviously were out before, so I have labelled these pistons in the order that they go in, so I can do a quick video on showing you guys when you do pull out pistons from an engine, how to label which piston goes into each cylinder, so I can do a quick video on that. The trans is just being held up by a block of wood there. I'll get the car ready to put onto my car trailer so I can take the car home. I'll flip the camera around. So at the moment we're still trying to find out what actually caused the head gasket to go. Whether it was the new spark plugs we put in, just the way that were firing, maybe didn't like it when it did get up on boost, or it could have been injector, maybe injector failed and obviously detonated, whatever, but not sure, still got to look into that. So originally this was just a VL Calais NA car. I did do a stock turbo conversion to it, was the first engine that I put into this. That obviously didn't last that long because it was standard bottom end, and I was hammering it too much and ended up doing the bottom end on it. So I ended up building this engine. I put the forged pistons and stuff in it. I have raced this car before. It was making 340 kilowatts. I ran a 10.8 at 128 was what I ran a few years back when I raced at Adelaide International. Obviously we haven't had a track to run it again since then, but the tune that it was on before it just went on the dyno now was 400 kilowatts, and it had like 1,000 newton meters of torque, over 1,000 newton meters of torque. Obviously what I've done this time around was I did a exhaust cutout and I changed the boost controller. The boost controller was just on high boost every time I was driving on the street, and for the street it was just blazing tyres everywhere and it was smoking tyres every time I got on it. So the boost controller is good. If I do want to turn it down, I can actually cruise on the street, give it a bit of shit, and it's not going to blaze tyres. So yeah, the exhaust cutout made an extra PSI of boost, and that extra PSI of boost was like 40 kilowatts and 100 newton meters of torque, so it was making 440 kilowatts and 1200 newton meters of torque. The boost that we're gonna, so that was at like 28, 29, so probably 29 psi I think it was running at. We're gonna go up to about 35 psi of boost. I believe Sean was gonna look at putting into this thing. So the power that we're looking at making on this is pretty up there, like for pretty much the setup that I've got, the trans and all that. I am trying to run this thing into the nines. Obviously when Tail and Bend opens up, I wanted to take this roll racing, but setbacks, bloody setbacks. with all the public holidays we had like, I don't even know what it was. I think it was like the Queen's birthday or something rather. Queen's birthday. Then we had like Easter, the Australian Easter. We had public holidays, and I had my Greek Easter. Tomorrow's actually Anzac Day, so it's another public holiday. It's just all these public holidays have caught up, and my timeline between, you know, getting this stuff done and then like stuff like this happening, and then like trying to do something with the Drift Falcon build, it's sort of just been all over the place. Like my everyday stuff that I've been doing, I've just been trying to smash it out. Like I've still got that one there to paint, that one there's passed through first inspection, needs to go through roadworthy, that's gone through first inspection, needs to go through roadworthy. That's a car for my brother that I've repainted, that was a full spray. That was leaking oil, or is leaking oil. So I need to do rocket cover gaskets on that. And then I've actually got the Mazda 6 in the spray booth, which I'm ready to start painting. So that's that one there. I've got all the panels and stuff, and it's just, yeah, it's been all over the place at the moment, trying to juggle between doing my everyday stuff, making videos, my personal stuff that's gone wrong, like this bloody VL. But yeah, I'm trying to get myself organised to do this, you know, video stuff, and try and help people that have mental health and get that awareness out there for people that are struggling. It can be a bit difficult, you know, with trying to run my business and trying to enjoy my personal stuff, and obviously help you guys out that do struggle. So we're getting there. It's just slow progress, I guess. And sometimes, you know, some weeks I can have a bit of time to do this sort of YouTube stuff, and then some weeks I just have to concentrate on getting work done because my workload's just backing up. So the joys of trying to juggle life, I guess, but it is what it is. I actually did have my best mate's wedding, which I was best man in, which I took a week off of work to do as well. So that's another thing that I got you know, involved in, and obviously I had to concentrate on that rather than, you know, what I had going on here. So that was a big thing that I had to go through as well, like, you know, trying to get myself mentally prepared for it. You know, my thing that I struggle with is obviously I get anxious of being around like big crowds and, you know, putting myself out there and doing new things, and that was something that was a good step for me to try and, you know, get myself out there and, you know, face fears, I guess. You know, getting up on the stage and having to make a speech. Tell you the truth, even just doing this, you know, talking to a camera is something that actually helped me. I think that me just, you know, making these sort of videos and talking to a camera and, you know, just thinking off the top of my head when you are doing this sort of stuff is something that can help you out when you're doing public speaking and stuff like that. And, you know, if you are anxious or nervous about something, you know, just doing things that can, you know, that you can do to sort of practice or get that confidence up to be able to do, you know, public speaking or whatever it is definitely something that can help. So yeah, just sometimes you got to put yourself out there, and, you know, putting yourself out there does, you know, benefit when you do actually get through it. Like when you feel like you've achieved something, it really does, you know, bring your mood up and actually pushes you to continue going, and, you know, just making that step to get better in whatever you're going through. Hope you guys are all keeping well, and you're all, you know, getting that awareness out there and speaking about mental health within males or within, you know, your family, or if you're going through anything. So hope you guys are well, and stay tuned for the next one.